today we're going to continue this theme around spring, our ability to ride the energy of spring to help us create in such powerful ways. Hello, welcome to Manifesting with Falake. In my previous videos, I've spoken about some of the elements that comes with spring. Spring has an energy of creativity, has an energy of like renewal, has an energy of growth, rebirth. If you think about a seed planted in the soil, and now that seed is now busting through this soil to become the plant, that seed is supposed to be. This is what spring is all about. And we can see it all around us in nature. The flowers are starting to come out, starting to bloom. We are starting to see the sunlight again. The sun is out sometimes. And everything just feels a little bit more vibrant and a little bit more lighter, and people are much more happier. So this is the energy of spring. And just like nature, we as well, we're going to feel this energy. So you might find that you're getting loads of ideas, be it whether you run your own business or you're trying to start your own business, you're getting a little bit busier. So there are new projects coming up, and your to-do list is getting a little bit more filled with things to do. So this is all in alignment with this energy of spring, this energy of movement, this energy of growth and rebirth. We're going to be getting lots of ideas, and we're going to feel this calling to do more, to show up a little bit more. So this is the energy of spring. However, I feel that just in the same way that you can feel a little bit more alive and you can feel more inspired when it comes to spring, the same way, the other side of the coin, you can also start to feel a little bit of an overwhelm, or the other extreme, feeling blocked. Because with this energy of creativity and this energy of, of feeling like you have to do, and you have to start doing something, you have to follow that calling, you have to follow the ideas, you have to, also comes this other side that you can become overwhelmed, especially as your to-do list start to pile up, or you can start to feel blocked because all those creative ideas and all those possibilities are piling up. We can also get stuck. So spring is a very beautiful time, but if we don't know how to ride the energy, we can also feel stuck and we don't use the energy properly. And what I want for you is that you know how to ride this energy naturally. When we learn how to ride the natural energies, we give ourselves a little bit of ease with how we create life and how we manifest and bring things to be. And this is why, on this channel, I follow this theme of like the season, so that we can really align how we are operating to the natural flow of things. So spring is a beautiful time, but if we don't know how to ride it, then we might not really use that energy as well as we could. So there are two things I really want to mention in terms of like an exercise for you to really ride this energy. And I was speaking to one of my clients yesterday in a session, which is what also prompted this video. And she used the words like, she feels like there are loads of noises. So this is my client, she's juggling family life. She's also juggling a beautiful business that is growing. And like I mentioned in spring, she's getting lots of ideas and lots of to-do things on her plate. And obviously sometimes we start to like feel this little bit overwhelmed. So I gave her a little exercise, which when I woke up this morning, I had to give myself too, because all of a sudden this morning, I felt a little bit like, okay, I think I've got too much on my plate as well. something that I never really felt before we had our call. So it's either I'm taking her energy, which happens, and we'll speak more about this, or perhaps maybe I just wasn't present enough to how much I was doing. So I gave her this exercise around letting certain things go, which I gave to myself as well, and I did it. Everybody, I believe, has a threshold for their energetic capacity. Like you have a threshold, you have a limit to how much you can carry at any given time. So when that limit is reached, either things will fall or we revert back to self-sabotage so that we can like subconsciously go back to a starting point so that we can start again. We all have an energetic capacity. We all have this threshold that we reach and then we can't carry anymore. And this is why one of the things that I work with clients in Inner Power Game is in expanding that energetic capacity so that we can hold more. However, talking about right now, right here in this, right in this element of spring, what we want to do is to work with our current energetic capacity. And the way we do that is to make space for the new things that wants to come in. So the first thing here is on intention. If you have already made an intention, and I think maybe I mentioned it in one of our practice in previous videos, actually the meditation ones. If you haven't seen those, go to the meditation ones. The first thing is about making an intention with how you want to feel, how you want to be, and how you want to show up in this new season of spring. When you make that intention in such ways, this is working more with your energetics. This is working more with an embodiment that doesn't require the pushing and the chasing. So you make an intention with how you want to feel and how you want to be. And if you do that properly, the resonance of the desire, your body recognizes that. And the more you work with that, the more you can start to magnetize anything that's in alignment to that embodiment that you've started to feel with how you want to be and how you want to show up, etc., etc. So our next then work is in making space for those things that are in alignment with this intention, this new embodiment that we're stepping into. And because we're right in this season of spring, this season of growth, this season of rebirth, this season of movement, this season of creativity, we are right in this energy because I've already said, nature is already in that energy. We are part of nature. Everything is one. And we will be feeling that energy as well, which is why you're starting to see that your to-do lists are piling up. The business is moving forward, or lots of things are happening in your work, lots of things are happening in the business, etc., etc. Things will naturally flow to the natural state of things. But what we want to do is to consciously choose how we want to flow, to consciously choose what we're bringing into our lives with this new rebirth and this new regrowth and this new new things that spring brings. So when we've made our intention to how we want to feel, how we want to be, and how we want to show up, we want to make space that the things that are coming in are in alignment to that. And the way to make space in ways that we're working with our current level of energetic capacity, if you think about it like a cup, a cup, and that cup, when it gets to the top, this is your energetic capacity. As soon as it gets to the top, everything else will fall out of that cup, will overflow. So that cup is our energetic capacity. And right now we're in this spring and we're getting these ideas and this creativity and this, feeling for next level. We want to go into that cup and release certain things that are no longer in alignment with this new level of embodiment that we're feeling for ourselves. So we want to let certain things go so that we can release space for the right things to come in. And this is what I said to my client. I was like, what is it that you can release? What is it that you can let go? What is it that is in your, your diary of to-do things that really is not even yours to do, that you can say no to? So like, what is it that you can say yes to? What is it that you can say no to? And until you become conscious and really feel into this, they will just be like chatters. Like they'll just be like, oh God, I've got so many things to do. And subconsciously, we just feel like these are the things that we need to do. And this is just life. And we don't really step into our own power to say yes or to say no. So that's one big thing. This awareness of, it is possible that we can release certain things. It is possible that we don't have to do everything. It is possible that some of the things that's on our plate, either it's not even ours to carry, to hold, and some of these things that are on our plate actually are things that we've brought from our previous version, the previous version to us, then this new version that we're stepping into, that we're calling forth with this new energy. And until you feel into that, to say, actually, maybe before I used to say yes to this type of calls, or I used to say yes to this type of client, or I used to say yes to this type of people or to this type of request, but actually this is no longer me. So perhaps I need to stop saying yes to this sort of energetic vibration because I'm up leveling into something else. And then you will start to see where you can drop certain things. Now that's a big one. Then the other big thing is also where you are not making decisions. So what happens with this energy, that I've been talking about is you're going to have lots of ideas. You're going to have lots of to-do things. And as the things pile up, most of us have a tendency not to really make a decision on certain things. It's like it's just there and it's a to-do list and it's something that we will get to. But what happens with this sort of situation is that there is something we call in Inner Power Game, I call it the leaky container. So this is where your energy gets sapped out in ways that you don't even know, or your energy gets leaked out. So the energy that you're supposed to use for your own creativity, that you're supposed to use for your manifesting, that you're supposed to use for good things, is getting leaked out somehow. So we want to be very conscious of where our leaky containers come from and where we're giving our energy away to the things that we shouldn't be giving it to. And one of the biggest one for this season that we're in is in those areas where we have decisions to make, we have actions to take, but we haven't taken them. On a subconscious level, those things are just lying, they're just there, they're there in our mind somewhere. You might even think, you're not thinking about those things, but your energy is still being, this thing is still feeding on your energy. So, it could be a simple thing like you want to send out an email blast to your mailing list about a product or about a new program, or perhaps maybe you were supposed to design something for this new idea that you had, design a leaflet, design a postcard, design a social media post, design a social media banner, whatever it is. It could be anything that's much more linked to something that's very important to you, and you're not getting to do that thing. That thing is quietly taking energy in a subconscious level. So then that energy is just been like sapped out and not being used for good. So what we want to do in this season is to quickly do a little check-in of certain things that are on our to-do list especially the ones that are important, because they are important. That's why, even though we're not doing them, they're still taking energy. It's supposed to be something that gives you, that makes you feel excited. But because you're not doing it, it's now become something that just worries you. Like, oh God, I should really get to that, and I'm not getting to that. So those sorts of stuff, you would identify them and you would know them. That those things, you need to just action them or put energy towards it in a way that it moves it forward. Okay? As soon as you move it forward, you've changed the energetic vibration there. And then what you also find on the other side is that there are certain things that actually it's just a no. And these are the ones that they're not giving you. There's no, like, even if you look at it, you already know this is not something I should be doing. This is something that's just wasting my time. This is something that is not moving me forward towards where I'm going to now. And for those, it's just a courage for us to say no. Maybe not right now, maybe another time. But as soon as we put a close to these things, we take our energy back. We take our energy back. And this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to use our energy in such a beautiful ways, because we want to ride this season of spring in alignment. We want to use what the energy is for in the right way. You want to ride the waves, as I call it. And right now, the waves is that of a new start. It's like you're feeling energized. So we want to ride these waves to move us forward more towards our desires and our goals and our intention. And this is the right season for it. Because before you know it, come winter, we're going into a rest phase. So we want to make sure that we use this energy properly and really ride it to move us forward. Do this simple practice of looking at where the leaky containers are, what decisions were you supposed to have made and you haven't made, what actions should you have really taken and you haven't taken them, what things could you let go, could you release to make space in your energetic capacity, those little areas. And you can just take your journal and a pen and just journal it out, and that becomes your to-do list. This is a beautiful way of doing a to-do list, because this to-do list is coming from your soul, is coming from within. It's not a to-do list that is coming from the head, where you make a to-do list and even that feels overwhelming. If you come up with a to-do list in this way that I've explained, you will find it's actually a little bit more soul-fulfilling. And even that in itself has a very powerful energetic vibration with it. So what we are doing here is that we're creating life, we're up-leveling, we're moving forward, we're creating success in a totally different way, because you start to see that things fall in place, things happen in ways that feel so magical, because you're working more with the energetics of things. You're working more with your own energetics. You're working more with the flow of the universe in alignment. And then there's this balance between how you are being and the bigger energy around you. This balance between there's a good dance between the two. And this is when life starts to feel so magical and beautiful. So try this approach. Do this simple exercise now, right now, this week, this next few days. Because as we then go into spring, there'll be more things that you can do. But if you keep up with it, it's going to be such a beautiful time for you. I hope that helps. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do that. Just press that subscribe button now so that you can get notifications for more videos as they drop, and also as I drop the meditation as well, because some of them are just to the right energy at the right time. It's beautiful having you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.